Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today I am going to present Elektronika 100, a faithful reissue of the legendary Elektronika 1. Well, the 1970s and 80s was the electronics boom, and I think both the countries, America and Russia, or then USA and USSR, were in the race of getting ahead. And electronics was one of the prime platform on which the advancement was dependent. That time there was also the quartz revolution, and I think it has replaced much of the mechanical market then, causing a huge setback. And electronics were developed all round, including TVs, radios, all sort of electronic equipment in the house, and watches as well. So for digital watches, I think they started with the digital segmented LEDs and LCDs. Gradually these were developed. Russia was not behind as well. So let's go and take a look at the box here. The box is a false leather red box here. A very nice looking, a very retro looking box. Something that you could have got in original leather, I think around in the 70s or 80s. So quite heavy box, around 300 to 400 grams or something. And let's take a look at the watch inside. I mean, wow, totally Russian appearance. This is how I think a reissue should be made. I think they have done a quite okay, well done with the box, I would say. And I will go with the contents of the box. So here is the manual, operations manual of the watch. Totally written in Russian, but I have translated this one into English recently, so I think I have done a decent job in getting this done. Not me, the Google Translate, I think. Google Translate has done a pretty decent job. So I will keep the document aside. Now I will keep the box aside and I will straightforward go to the watch. I will keep aside the spacer. Some extra links are here. I will just keep it beside, and I will take off the plastic screen protector here, and I will just keep it around. So let's go to the dimension of the watch. So the watch here weighs around 125 grams. The weight is quite hefty. Only the watch here weighs around somewhere around 50 grams, so I think it is not much heavier. The dimensions of the watch is, I think this is 35.4 mm wide, 39 mm in overall length, lug to lug, and it is 11.3 mm thick. So this watch has got quite a nice and hefty feel to it. And look at the screen here, look at the display of the watch. I think this is something really nicely that has been done here, and quite good, really good. The watch is made of SS316 stainless steel. I think the Russian grade, equivalent grade of SS316 is 03X17H14M3. I think if I haven't read the Cyrillic right, H is somewhat written as N and N is written as H. I think it is N, 03X17N14M3. So this is a stainless steel. The water resistance of the watch is according to the GOST Russian standard 29330-92, approximately 5 atmospheres or 50 meters of pressure of water. The watch is designed to work from 1 to 50 degrees centigrade. That's really nice, and I think that is quite cool. The display size is somewhere around 16.3 by 5.4 mm, which is really nice. I think that this is something really cool. But the best feature of this watch is that it is powered with a CR2032 battery, which is a very common battery that you can find, and you can simply replace the battery if the watch gets discharged. Now let's get to the control buttons of the particular watch, Elektronika 100. According to the manual, the control buttons have been notified here as mentioned here as K1, K2, K3, K4, and this one is K5. So why this has been done this way, that two buttons are protruding from the case and two buttons are flush with the case. The reason behind this is that the buttons that have been placed protruding the case are the display buttons only, whereas the buttons that are flush with the case are setting buttons. And this is I think very good practice for such kind of watches, so as to prevent any accidental pressing of the setting buttons and get the settings changed unintentionally, right? So that has been very carefully done. Now I will go ahead and press the button K1. Since this is a display button, this K1 button is to display the time. See, the time now is 10 at night, 10:01 at night. So this is showing 22:01. I will press it again. It is showing 22:01, right? This is very good. And if I press this button, I think it shows the date today and the day of the week. So this is the minimal retro display version. In this current setting, I can change the setting to the full display, but I have kept it in a retro mode so as to, it should save quite a lot of battery because less display segments are on. So let me tell you about the display that, unlike the Elektronika one of the 70s that uses segmented LED, this one has a dot matrix OLED display. So that is quite cool, right? Use the modern display type pieces around the market and give it a retro feel and a retro reissue kind of thing. This is quite cool. A big solid chunky watch, and I think I'll quite love it. It's quite good. SS316 stainless steel and whatnot. That's really good. So now I will go ahead and check the version, software version. So this is what it shows, Elektronika 100, right? I think I will just flash it again. And I think some guy named Roslov, I think the proprietor of this particular company, has programmed it in 2022, and it is showing the current battery voltage as 2.94 volt. The discharge threshold of the battery is 2.5 volt. Below that I have to change the battery. So I think the battery is quite charged now. And if I press this button and then this, and I think these are the gradual settings of the watch that I can show you. This is the retro mode that I've enabled. I can disable it. This is the, I think, the language of English. These are the, I think, the different kind of settings that are currently written in Russian, but I will definitely go and show these to you in English. So I will just press it and I will wait for 5 seconds for the setting to go off. The bracelet of the watch is made of solid stainless steel links, and I think the lug width here is 20 mm. The bracelet features a quick remove spring bar, and this is the case back here. I think in the case back it mentions Elektronika 100, made in Russia in Cyrillic, and a very nice case back. And I think the case back is a very beautifully made one, and I think this is an ring kind of seal, whereas the case back presses against the back of the watch, and there is this ring fastener that turns and tightens the case back onto the case. So the bracelet has removable pins. I think the arrow is marked here on how to remove it. I have to put this particular tool right here and use this particular tool to shorten the bracelet or add the extra links. The lock here, the clasp here is a dual push type clasp. I think it comes down like this and it fits. So I have shortened this like 2 or 3 links because I have an average wrist. So I sport it really beautifully. So I really like this, how it sits on the wrist. So I will just go ahead and put it on the wrist. Yeah, because this is my watch. So I'll just put it around, and this is how it looks. This is how it feels. It looks really good. I will just press it and I will show you the wrist shot and the current wrist roll here. So think this is something that yeah, looks good on the wrist. Not too big, not too small, just the perfect fit. Quite a heft to it, quite nice fit and finish right here. Well, I am so keen to show all you guys some of the operations of the watch, so I will just go into the settings mode. First thing I have is this retro button, retro settings, so I will just change it to non-retro. I mean the current software version that shows the full display mode, and here it is, the time is 10:09:32 seconds or 33, whatever you call it, and this is the full display mode. And if I press this button, this will show you the current date, that is the 6/10/2023, and it is showing you the weekdays in Cyrillic right here. So how cool is this? But since more number of LEDs are lit now, more segments of LEDs are lit now, the more dot matrix LEDs are lit now, I think it will consume a tad more power. So for the sake of retro feel and as to save the battery, I will just turn it around back to the retro mode. Right, so I will just go here and push this once. I think the retro mode, if it shows plus, it is on, right? So now I think the retro mode has reverted back to the retro mode. I am using this soft wooden spike to change the settings here, because so as not to scratch the stainless steel right here. So I will go back to the settings, and now I will try to change the language. I think this is the language thing. Go ahead and I will go ahead and do it again. Now I think that I have turned it into English, so let's see if I have. No, not yet. I think this is not the language thing, and it could be this. Now it has come into English. Settings, English, right? So I will show you what I have changed and I haven't changed. This is the setting. This first one is the retro mode, like I have said. Second is the rotate turn on. I think this is the rotation sensor that shows the time as soon as you turn your wrist towards you. So this one is the rotation sensor. This is the seconds, just to show the seconds in the full time display mode. And I will show you the next, that is the delay, the display delay. The display turns off after 5 seconds. This is the delay adjust. I think this is the seconds adjust that needs you to set the time in case of any delay in the timing, or I think the time adjusting factor, that is it. And this is Elektronika 100 Roslav 2022 2.81 volts, and this is, it has come down, I think. So I will go back to the settings mode. This is the settings and this is the language. So for the retro feel of it, I will just revert it back to Russian. So this is how it goes around like this. Alright guys, that's a wrap up for the Elektronika 100. One of the excellent faithful reissue of the legendary Elektronika 1, a retro digital watch, and I think one of my favorites, and it's a keeper. So thanks for watching the video. Do like, share and subscribe, and I will try to make reviews of more cooler watches in future. So have a good one, have a good day ahead, and good night as well to some parts of the world. Thank you.